Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to show you my low-tech fresh water system in the van. I'll explain how it works and why I did it. So, as you can see, I've got a sink here in the kitchen area and I've got a tap. It's basically a pump action tap. So initially, after doing my research, I found that you can have a tap that has running water as soon as you turn it via a micro switch in the tap, and a water pump that's then connected to your water tanks. Your water tanks generally go underneath, and then you install all the pipes through the floor of the van and up into the sink. So that was what my research told me, but as a temporary measure I fitted this tap. Also, just as a temporary measure, I started using containers in the van. So I ordered these 10-litre plastic food safe containers from eBay. Brand new they were, and I think they worked out about £3 each. And I started to use that for my fresh water. Now, the problem I ran into was eventually I got algae in some of the containers, and the algae also went into the pipe that runs up to the tap. And so I did some research online for that, found that the way to resolve it is with bleach. So rather than flush loads of bleach through these containers, I just replaced them. And that made me think I probably won't bother getting the fresh water tank. And also I realised that if I had a fresh water tank installed permanently under the vehicle or in the vehicle somewhere, I'd have to have a fill point on the outside, and I'd have to take my vehicle close to the water source to fill it up. Whereas with these containers, they're only 10 litres, I can fill 2 and carry 1 in each hand quite comfortably. They're the right size as well, because if they'd been 20 litres, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So these work out quite well, and for that reason I decided to keep them. I read about people having problems with frost in the winter, and of course I don't have any of that problem with the water being in the living area. So that said, I could still attach a micro switch and a water pump using these onboard containers, but I decided not to, because as I got used to this tap I realised that 4 of those is 1 cup of tea, and I can basically measure all of the water that I use. Then when I boil the kettle, I'm boiling just enough for a cup or 2 cups or however many cups I need. And so filling the containers is quite easy. Many of the campsites have got little taps with the threaded tap, but many of them I've been to haven't got the actual pipe to reach to your container. So I've got my own version here that I just attach as needed. And then on the other end of it, it's basically I don't know what you call this, but it goes onto a tap. So if you're in a place where you're filling up from a tap, like say you were filling up from a public toilet sink, you can use this to direct the water into your containers. So that is my fresh water system on a budget, because you don't need to spend money on a 12-volt tap or a 12-volt pump. You don't need an expensive tank installed under your van, and it's very easy to maintain, and I can't think of any reason why I would now go to a system that uses all of that. That's purely because I've used this and found it so easy to use for so long. I just don't see any need to change. I hope that helps somebody. Feel free to comment, like and subscribe.